I recommend, highly, strongly recommend that every student take this test at least twice. Take a real official test at least twice. We'll talk about it in terms of your scores in a little bit. But it really is important you take it twice. Basically, what you tend to see is this. Students prep for the first test, take it, and they come out, if it's a good program, they'll come out saying, you know, I did pretty well, but I still think I can do better. And it's the second time you take it, that, so they'll improve, but it's the second time they take it that you really see the numbers pop. And the reason for that is it's like anything else. You know, you jump in the pool the first time and you swim. You don't swim as well as you do the second time. And all of the different factors and all of the different sort of, you know, anxiety that you feel and everything, the first time you're in that is much more than the second time. And so if you can, so you really want to take it at least twice. And so what I recommend is you take it twice in junior year, and then you have a portfolio of numbers that you can use in the summer to go to schools and say, okay, well, you know, I got my number here and here. Can I get into this school? Can I get in this school? And a lot of times, you know, you go visit a school and they'll say, well, yeah, if you can get your math score up by about 50 points, I think you got a good shot at getting in. So all of a sudden, senior year, you're like, okay, let me take it again, see if I can get my math number up. And that sort of is, so you take it 2 times in junior year and then come back if you need to the 3rd time senior year. And I will tell you that the senior year, those mid-September for the ACT and early October are by far the best performing tests of the year when you're a senior. The students are focused. They're back in the swing of things. That August test, like the mid-July, August, especially that late August test, everyone wants to take that late August test and say, oh, I want to be done before school starts. That late August test, students just do not perform well. Usually it hits right when school's starting, and so you got 8 million other things you got to think about as well. But you're really still in summer mode, and it's only and you're going back. Your body clock is changing because you're now back on this early morning schedule, and especially for teenagers, that's a really difficult transition to get back into your body clock back on the morning schedule. And it really takes about 3 weeks to sort of get adjusted to it all again. And I see this with students, like those first 2 weeks of September, you know, they really are, everybody's struggling and yawning and everything else. So you really want to get back in the swing of things before you start taking these tests. So that mid-September ACT and the early October are really the best tests. You're in it, you're focused, you know what you're doing, and you're ready to go. And so that's really important. That's a really important one. For juniors, I really like taking those early December tests for the first time. That's why I like getting started now and sort of getting numbers on the board before the holiday break is a really good idea. We're not necessarily going to use these scores, and we're going to talk about submitting scores, and so you don't need to use these scores. There's no sort of, you know, there are a few schools that want to see all your scores, but for the most part, you can pick and choose which numbers you're going to submit. So it's really, there's no downside to taking it in December, but it really is a good one to take just to get that first one under your belt, because everybody ends up taking that early February, early March, especially the SAT, that early March test. And you know, in the lead up to that, sort of February, in the beginning of school year, everybody's talking about the SAT, everybody's taking that March test, everybody's talking about what prep they're doing and everything, and it just creates this vicious cycle of anxiety that goes on with students, especially because they haven't taken it again. So, you know, if you're a student, yeah, I've taken it once, I got these numbers, I'm going for the second time. You have such a leg up over most of your peers that way by taking it that second time. Plus, you're taking it a second time before, as I say, before you get into the later parts of the semester, where other people who have to take it in the later part of the semester are really going into the teeth of that spring schedule.